Hi guys, I'm back. In this video we're going to talk about the 13 insulin triggers, okay? Now, as you may or may not know, insulin is behind so many health problems. And if you could just understand all the triggers and avoid these things, you can be very, very healthy. So what I did is out of this book, I summarized all of the triggers to increasing insulin and just realized that we need normal insulin, but we don't need excessive amounts of insulin. So when you have high levels of insulin, it causes the receptor that it's supposed to be received in to downgrade and become resistive and blocked. So that's called insulin resistance. And then it sends a signal back to the pancreas, increasing your insulin. So you have a situation where you have too much insulin, yet it's ineffective, it's not working, okay? Okay, so let's start with number one, sugar. And I'm talking about all the sugars, okay? Like dextrose, high fructose corn syrup, table sugar, brown sugar, raw sugar, honey, all the sugars. Number two, refined grains in the form of breads, pasta, cereal, crackers, biscuits, things like that. Number three, frequency of eating. Every time you eat, you trigger insulin. So the more times you eat, the worse it is. That's why we do intermittent fasting. Number four, there's an insulin scale that measures all the non-carbohydrate things that can trigger insulin. And lean proteins will trigger insulin more than fattier proteins. So you don't want to focus on lean, low-fat protein. You want to get the whole fat in there as nature has provided. Number five, excessive protein. Too much protein can trigger insulin. So the optimum amount is between 3 and 6 ounces. If you're a real big guy, or you're doing intermittent fasting, you're having less frequent meals, then consume a little bit more. But try not to go too much. Number six, soy oil, which most definitely is genetically modified, and even corn oil and other oils as well, but it's sprayed with glyphosate. Okay, this is an herbicide, Roundup Ready, part of the GMO thing. So we want to avoid soy oil because that can trigger insulin resistance and then spike insulin. Trans fats, that's all the hydrogenated oils. You want to avoid all that. That can actually cause insulin resistance and increase insulin. Cortisol, that's the adrenal stress hormone. And that includes all the medication that has cortisol in a synthetic version, like prednisone shots, cortisol creams, things like that, steroids. Number nine, diuretics. So many people are on high blood pressure medication, and they use a diuretic, which gets rid of fluid. But one of the side effects, it causes insulin resistance, which then increases your insulin, causing more blood pressure, okay? Number 10, statins. It's a cholesterol medication. Causes insulin resistance, increasing insulin, thereby increasing cholesterol. It's crazy. Number 11, MSG, monosodium glutamate. Another name for that would be modified food starch. It's in so many foods. It's in fast food restaurants. It's in a lot of other restaurants. So if the food tastes a bit too good, suspect MSG and avoid it because it can increase insulin. This is probably why you go to a Chinese restaurant and you eat, and an hour later you're starving. Why? Because the blood sugars go down and now you're hungry again. Okay, you're not satisfied. Number 12 and 13 are mineral deficiencies and vitamin deficiencies can set you up for insulin resistance and thereby increase insulin. So low potassium deficiencies, magnesium deficiencies, low sodium or low salt diets can increase the risk of getting insulin resistance. So this is one of the things that doctors recommend, go on a low salt diet, thereby creating higher insulin, which then causes the retention of sodium. It's crazy. Okay, zinc deficiency. You need zinc to make insulin. Zinc is necessary to support the cells that make insulin, the beta cells. In fact, the number one cell in the body that absorbs the most zinc is the cells that make insulin, the beta cells. So if you're low on zinc, it can set you up for diabetes. Okay, low chromium can do it. High levels of calcium can cause insulin resistance. Low B1, thiamine. Low vitamin D and low vitamin A. All right, so here you have it. These are the things that can set you up for insulin resistance and increase insulin. Hey guys, a lot of you already have my book, some of you don't, but this new edition called the New Body Type Guide is an upgrade from my last edition called the 7 Principles of Fat Burning. It has 156 images, 378 pages, full glossary. I talk about keto, intermittent fasting, the body types in detail. I have a new stress chapter. I'm going to show you exactly what to eat and a comprehensive FAQ. I put a link down below. Check it out.